Hello, everybody. How's it going? Happy Thursday. It's not Friday. So good to see all of you. Thank you for accommodating a little bit of a schedule change. I'm actually going to be traveling a little bit, not too far away, in my car for the holiday. So I thought I would hop on here on a Thursday instead of skipping the bulletin altogether. Because I still think this is one of my favorite parts of the week, showing off your artwork and getting to draw with you for a few minutes. So thank you all for joining me on this modified day for our student bulletin. I almost said happy Friday. So good morning. We've got Catherine here, Kat, Cynthia is here. She made it, which is awesome. We've got Bonnie, let's see, Stephanie, Kat, Sherry, Lisa, Annette, John, Fernando, Missy, Lisa, Carol, Maria. Aaron is here, so is Jason and Jesus and Holly. Excellent. It's so good to see all of you. And yes, I saw a question if you'll see Danny today. Yes, there is also a draw with me at noon. So you get all sorts of action today from us, which is fun. Yeah, so in the States here, we're about to celebrate the 4th of July. And we're still trying to stay home and not mingle with big crowds, obviously. I hope all of you are staying safe. My husband and I and our dogs and our paddle boards are going to be going down to North Carolina to hole up in the mountains, avoid people, and just hike, and avoid touching things at gas stations and not, trying to keep it super clean and not take our germs. We're packing all of our meals and whatnot. So I'm excited for a little escape from screens. I hope that you all are able to take some time away from screens because lately it's felt like a lot. You're on here maybe for work, you're on here for Zoom calls, for webinars, and I think you need to just take a break from electronic screens, and sketchbooks are a perfect way to do that, obviously. Looks like Bia is here giving a virtual hug, which is great. Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm going to jump right into it. Nancy's also saying Happy Watercolor Month, which is awesome. So let's kick off July. World Watercolor Month. And I want to start by showing off some artwork from our boot camp course. So our boot camp course is our very basic introductory course. And the reason that I love revisiting this course every week is that students here are new, right? They're new to their creative habit for the most part. They're just trying drawing for the first time. And I think it's a good time to just celebrate their little victories, and triumphs between homework assignments. And it's a good time to just be encouraging, to people that are new in their creative practice. So that's why I love sharing art from our boot camp course. This drawing came from Suzanne, who put out a plea for help with perspective. And one of the assignments is to draw a bike. And I don't know about you, but I've drawn a lot of bikes, and every time they come out slightly wonky, slightly looking a little mechanically inefficient. But I love Suzanne's bike here, and she, was worried about her perspective and her proportions, but I just love this, and I think it made for a really great drawing. So Suzanne, thank you for tackling the bike assignment and doing such a great job. I just love this bike. It has so much character. Another student, David, just kind of simplified things and played with color blobs. And this seems like a really simple assignment, something that a kid might do, but it's quite enjoyable. And he added little characters, little objects, and I think David was able to really just let go of that urge to draw something super realistic. So I think this is a great reminder to just play and experiment. So David, thanks for sharing that. Another student who actually took a workshop with us recently, I wanted to share this. Penny joined us for the Ian Fennelly workshop, and she actually took the skills that she learned in that workshop on to a virtual urban sketching event. So she was able to use the skills that she learned in the workshop elsewhere in other drawings. And I think that's my favorite part of these workshops is that you work on one project, right? One drawing and one technique. But you can really apply that to so many other areas of your creative practice. So I love that Penny really took those learnings to heart and practiced them elsewhere. I think for our upcoming workshop with Gigi Chen, it's about ballpoint pen drawing with birds as a subject. But I think that if you were to take that, you could use those skills on other subjects. But just really getting an appreciation for ballpoint pens is kind of the point. So I love that students kind of take what they learn in these workshops and apply them elsewhere in new and exciting ways. Another student, Mindy, just started taking our mixed media journaling class. And she just started, and I just love the colors that she played with on this page. She added some little swatches, a few words, and I think it just turned out wonderfully. And my favorite part about mixed media journaling and mixed media in general is that you can really just play with your materials. You don't have to have an end goal in mind. You don't have to have a product that you're looking for. Looks like Robert is joining us, returning from a medical emergency. Oh gosh. Robert, I hope everything's okay over there in California. I'm glad that you're here with us and that you're safe. I hope you're staying healthy. Another piece of art I wanted to share is that Barbara is working on watercolor rules, and she wrote about this bike ride that she went on, and she passed this scene on like a bike trail, like a greenway, and just couldn't resist painting it. So I'm assuming she took a picture of it and then worked on it later. But I go on lots of bike rides and runs and hikes, and sometimes I'll pass things that I just think, oh, I would love to draw that, but I don't have my sketchbook with me, blah, 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 excuses. But I love that she revisited it, and Barbara kind of took this inspiration and used it for this beautiful painting. So Barbara, way to go, way to capture those memories from your bike ride. Another student, Carol, she talked about how drawing the same scene in her house is still quite meditative. And I love the simplicity of this drawing, and it made me think about how I often draw the same plants in our house, you know, when I'm on the couch, watching TV with my husband, and it didn't occur to me that I keep drawing the same things, and every time it's still just as enjoyable and just as calming and soothing. So I love that Carol was kind of returning to this really common scene in her house as sort of an excuse for meditation and a moment to pause. So that was a good reminder that even though we've all been stuck at home during this quarantine period, that we can still find inspiration in the corners of our living room, for instance. Another spread that I want to share is from Jesus, and she was working with color pencils this week. And I just love the way that she combined so many elements in this spread here. She factors in things that are inspiring her right now, food, drinks that she's consuming. She's even got some little color swatches along the bottom. And just the energy and the complementary colors here just really excited me. So Jesus, thank you so much for sharing this. And Anne-Marie is here for a few minutes. So glad you could pop in, Anne-Marie. We're going to draw together here in a minute. And one last piece of art I wanted to share is from an artist, actually I have two more, sorry, Zora. She writes about some really favorite vacation spots that even if she can't visit them right now, drawing them, revisiting them through photographs is a great way to kind of escape and a good way to remind yourself that there are beautiful things out there and that those beautiful things will be waiting for us when all this is over, or at least when travel, it can be done safely. So I love that Zora was working from photographs from some of her favorite vacations. I know summer is a time for vacation for a lot of people, but this year it might not be, obviously, because it's not safe. So Zora is revisiting some of her favorite travel photographs, and I think that's a great idea and something that I'm probably going to do in the near future. And lastly, a student, Nora, so we've got Nora and Zora. Nora is experimenting with mixed media, and I just love the texture and the colors that she came up with for this mixed media drawing. And she did some printing over top, it looks like, and I think she just did a lovely job. And Nora's drawings are so playful and so colorful. And she's always doing a lot of really cool mixed media explorations. So Nora, thank you for sharing that with us. I think it's quite lovely. So now I'm hoping that those of you that are here brought a sketchbook. So we're going to spend a few minutes together. Robert, hopefully you can hunker down now that that emergency is over and draw with us. And I want to talk about, kind of as a prompt or a theme, as we wrap up the month of June. Pride was a big thing here in the U.S. Pride Month was June. And then in the U.S. we're also embarking on the 4th of July holiday. And I just want to talk about things that make you proud. So this seems kind of general, but it could really be applied to a lot of different areas of your life. So whether it's something Pride Month related, something related to your heritage, or where you come from, or just an accomplishment that you're proud of. Is it a stack of sketchbooks, on your bookshelf that you've completed? Or is it a really nice wood table that you spent years building and sanding and refinishing? But I want you to think about the word pride and, grab your sketchbook, grab a pen, and I'll start a timer. But I think that we all have a lot to be proud of. And I think that right now, especially in the US, I'm proud to live in a country that we can peacefully demonstrate, for the most part peacefully, and that we, have freedom of expression and can share our opinions and our beliefs. And I'm proud of a lot of things. I know that a lot of news is really negative, but I do think it's important to think about what makes you proud. Proud of who you are, proud of where you come from. And I've just been thinking about that a lot lately, and that's what I want to focus on today for our drawing, our little moment together. So I'm going to pull up this timer, and this can be, hold on. This can be something that's kind of literal, like I said, something that you've created, that you've done or accomplished. It could be a symbol of something like that, or it could be something that has to do with where you're from. It could be your hometown's favorite state bird or something. In Ohio, it's a cardinal. We have lots of those around here. But I just want you to think about something that gives you pride and what that might be and what that could be in your sketchbook. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I'm going to start our timer. And you can use the daily drawing habits hashtag if you're sharing these on social. If you're sharing them in the schoolyard, you can use the student bulletin topic. That'll work. But I just want you to think about something that gives you pride. So this is something that I've been thinking about, and I think, depending on where you are, if you're in the United States, a lot of people are celebrating America this weekend for the July 4th holiday, but I do think we still have a lot to be proud of. Even if we have a lot of learning to do, a lot of things to fix in the world, I do think that we have a lot to be proud of, and I don't want you to forget that. I want you to think of something that gives you pride. Because I also think that that can kind of give you a sense of hope, to keep moving forward and keep progressing. So I kind of see those two going hand in hand, and I think hope is really important right now, especially. So for those of you that are here with me, I'm so glad Robert came back to join us. I want you to think about something that gives you pride, something that makes you proud, and I want you to draw that as your prompt for today's drawing. And like I said, that can take any format. If you're just joining, that can be more literal, something that you've done or created that you're proud of. Or it can be a little more metaphorical, or something relating to your identity. I think that could be, an appropriate way to interpret this word. But it's obviously up to you. And if you don't want to think about that, that's also fine. We're here. You probably have a sketchbook in hand, hopefully. And you can just think about something else today that's inspiring you, that you would like to put in your sketchbook. And I've done all this talking, and now I don't actually know what to draw. I've had a lot of things on my mind, but, I think I'm trying to think about something lately that makes me proud. And I think what I'm going to focus on is our home as a symbol of where we live, and our community that we try to be really active in. Because I think that gives me a sense of pride, to belong to something, to belong to a community, to have a space in this community. So I am just going to draw a little symbol of our house, where I live, here in Columbus, Ohio, kind of as sort of the center of, how I exist in our community and the impact that I can have on the world. I think it starts here in the home, and, my husband and I can go out into the world and hopefully have an impact. So I'm going to draw our house as sort of a little symbol of something that I'm proud of. It's also our first home, so, it was a big accomplishment for us. About a year ago now, we moved in, and it was a huge deal. We'd been renting for so long, but knew that we wanted to own a home eventually. So that was, something that we're really proud that we, worked on achieving. We definitely are privileged. We had some resources, and we're both employed still, even in the pandemic, which was really challenging for some people. But I think this is something that gives us a sense of pride. And we also love, Columbus, Ohio, where we live. We're proud of our neighborhood. We're proud of our city. They're trying to make changes and sort of institute some policies that I think are going to make the world a better place. So I'm proud of that. And so that's going to be my starting point today. And obviously there's a lot that could kind of spout off of that, branch off of that. But that is what I'm thinking about. And I think this is also on my mind because we're going out of town, leaving our house. So, yeah, just leaving home and that being something that gives me a sense of pride. So maybe that's where my mind is right now. Um, Also because I've drawn plenty of rainbows for Pride Month, so I don't need to elaborate on that any longer. But that looks like it was our timer. And I didn't get much of a house. But this is actually sort of what my house looks like. We live in a small Cape Cod, little tiny house in Columbus, Ohio. But thank you to those of you that sat down with me for a few minutes. I'm really curious to see kind of where you went with this drawing, what gives you a sense of pride, something that you're proud of. So hopefully you'll share that with us either on social media using the hashtag, or you will share that in the schoolyard using the student bulletin topic. But thank you all for tuning in, for pivoting with the time change, the day change. I appreciate it. It's great that you guys show up with bells on. And we're going to see Danny just in probably 40 minutes for Draw With Me at 12 p.m. Eastern. Also here on the YouTube channel, you can find that event in the schoolyard or on YouTube on our page. And I also want to remind you, since you all are so flexible, that we'll be meeting for our Creative Manifesto session next week on Tuesday. So the details for that are also in the schoolyard. It's a new month, and I'll still be out of town on Monday, so Tuesday it is. Usually it's the first Monday of the month, but Tuesday we'll be chatting at 12 p.m. Eastern to talk about our creative goals for the month of July. So look forward to that. Put it on your calendar. That's Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. So great to see all of you. Thank you for the well wishes, and I hope that you all have an awesome and safe weekend wherever you are, and that we see you around the schoolyard. Thanks, guys.